Hello, how are you doing? Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and Happy Birthday. I know I haven't been here for a while. With everything going on, it's been difficult to find the headspace for just sharing. It's not only you. My blog is neglected. My fanfic is neglected. I'm just getting back to all of it right now, When one part of your life is struggling, it's very hard to focus on creation and creating. So now that we are back on track, and when I say one part of my life, that includes my son's life, which is where we should start. I have a question for my audience. If I even have an audience, I don't know. I could be talking to myself. So, let's say your son is grown. He's an adult, right? And a young adult. But you still have to parent him. You're still actively parenting. Is that a thing that you're supposed to do, or are you supposed to be pushing him away? I'm just asking generally, because I don't believe in shoulds, you should do this or you should do that. But I'm open to hearing other opinions because it might enrich my life in some way. My whole philosophy is that you do what is needed, and if additional parenting is needed, I can't not parent. It's not even a decision or a choice. It's just something that happens. It's natural. It's visceral. You're hungry, you eat. Your child is in distress, you're in distress. You're doing your best to get both of you out of that distress. Anyway, so it's been, what shall I say? It's been a valley through the shadow of death. But I think we kept walking, and I think we're kind of now cresting the hill out of it. So I'm glad of that for both of us. Anyway, so I'm sure your pandemic period has been just as eventful, and I hope that you found your own answers to the problematic questions. So anyway, today I want to talk about something a little frivolous, but not really. So, a funny thing happened. I took my kid to the barber, because that's a thing that we do. Don't judge me. And he was asking me if we were talking about Adam Levine and his whole 20-year-old fetish, or whatever it is, that makes him follow 20-year-olds and comment on their bodies. So I was telling my son that it's not even that he was flirting or having sex with these girls. It's that he was lying. He was lying to be hearty. Presumably, she did not know about all this flirting and shit. Although, I think the same way that I just wake up and know when my son is having a problem, not the same way, but close, a wife will know when something is not quite right in her marriage. She might not say it. She might not even consciously bring it to the front of her mind and say that she believes it, but she knows. She knows there's a problem. So I don't really think people are surprised They're maybe surprised in a way that I wish I wasn't right about knowing that something was wrong way, but not in a, oh my God, in a million years I would never have guessed he would have done such a thing. I'm so shocked. It's just so shocking. I don't want to call anyone a liar, but I don't see how you can live in proximity with somebody and just not have, even if you don't know, you've heard some shit, you know? Like, there's some things I hear about, someone that I think I know, and I'm surprised at it. But I can't say that I've heard it now, right? And I've heard someone say, this is my experience, So it's up to you to be like, is that possible? Is that so? You can choose to ask the person, or you can choose to believe the version of themselves that they present to you, right? Which is your right. I'm reminded of this book. It was called Children of God by Maria Doria Russell, and there was this priest. He was a Puerto Rican priest, really good looking guy, short, and he didn't tell any of his friends about his life before he became a priest, and they only found out about it because they came to Puerto Rico to help him with his parish work, and then they heard other people talking about him. So they're like, okay, but they didn't say anything because this is, if you have friends and you want to present, this is the me I want you to know, then it is within your rights to do that. That was her whole thought process, which really gave me something to think about. I had never thought of it like that. Like, I have presented myself to you in this way because that's who I want you to think I am. And it's not a lie. That's who he was. He just didn't want you to have all this baggage that he was carrying from his childhood, from being a bastard child and all that. Anyway, so yeah, you can choose to believe the version a man presents to you. It's usually men who present versions of themselves, I think. But then hopefully his version that he presents to you is also the version that he wants to be, and not just the version that he is so that he can get you. So in my not very humble opinion, I think that for Adam Levine, Behati Prinsloo, you know when all the articles call her Victoria's Secret model Behati Prinsloo, like that's her whole identity. The fact that she's a Victoria's Secret model, like that's who she is, Oh, and with everything that entails, very thin, supposedly beautiful, clear skin, Caucasian, all those shit, all that stuff. So, and apparently a Victoria's Secret model is what we all aspire to be, right? So this guy has one. He has the model, but it's not enough. He still cheats on her, and everyone is like, their minds are blown by it. But honestly, if you as Behati cannot come home and leave Victoria's Secret model outside the door and just be able to be Behati in your own house. In your own house, you still have to be all like model-esque. You can't fart. You can't have a bad hair day. You can't break out. You can't decide that you don't need to shower today, or put on makeup, or you want to wear your oldest, rattiest sweatshirts and jeans, and you're just Behati. You're not Victoria's Secret model, Behati Prince Lou. And then this guy sees you and is like, I thought I married a Victoria's Secret model, and she's supposed to look like she's always going for cadument. You know how people dress for cadument? Think Rihanna doing festivals in Barbados. All those like really shiny bikini clothes, or almost naked type shit with feathers. So, or think Victoria's Secret runway, Like, what? You mean you don't go around looking like that every single minute? So now that I've conquered you and I have the Victoria's Secret model Behati Prince Lou in my house, well, the challenge is over, innit? Right? Like, okay. Do they talk? Do they have conversations? Are they friends? Can you even be that? I don't know. I would say no. And probably once, that hill has been conquered, now I'm going to look for the next one. So he goes for the next Instagram model, and just judging from their conversation is very shallow. It's all about, oh, you're so hot. Oh my God, I've never seen someone so hot. And yeah, you know what? I'm even hotter in person. Like if it was me, I would have blocked him at the first you're hot. But anyway, that's just me. So, judging just by the shallow high school nature of their conversation, I would say that Adam Levine was looking for just gratification. He's been in the game for decades now. His music is apparently now elevator music, probably feeling like a has-been, and he needs something to make him feel young and beautiful and, oh, I'm still hot. People can be very shallow, which reminds me of Chris Rock. When Chris Rock got divorced, did you watch Tambourine? If not, go watch it. It's worth it. That was pre the whole Will Smith thing. So anyway, so he's like, he's in his head, he's thinking that he can pull Rihanna. Like, all I needed to be was divorced. Like, he probably went up to her like, hey, you know what? I'm single now. And it was like shocking to him. The way he told the story, it was like a huge shock to him that Rihanna would look at him like some old creepy uncle. He's 50, for crying out loud, past 50. She's 33. But he's like, oh yeah, I have a shot. It just made me feel like, all men think that they're pretty flacco. Every single man just looks in the mirror and doesn't see the struggle looking back at him. They see pretty flacco. And the huge irony is that pretty flacco really put in the work to get Rihanna. Like, he put in the work, But these people be like, oh, I'm single now. You want to go out? And then they get shocked when she doesn't even acknowledge their existence. And it's just like, the amount of non-self-awareness that men have is just, it boggles my mind every time. Just like, are you serious? Are you serious right now? Like, I have to pretend all the time that my son is just like round the corner every time I get a handyman in the house, just in case he might decide, oh, look at her, single, she must really need a man, let me just try my best. And every time the electrician comes to my house, they'll be like, so Chris, you go. And I'm like, yeah, Chris is in his room even if he's like at his father's place and I haven't seen him for 5 weeks. But he's in his room. He is around. Don't even. Because, I mean, he's a good electrician. I don't want to lose him. But it's just like, there's always, once they get familiar with you, they automatically think that, oh, there's a chance for me here. No, honey. Please take 2 steps back. Take 2 steps back. Okay? You and me, we are not the same. Especially, you can't speak like a full sentence in English. I'm sorry, but how are we going to communicate? I don't speak Sheng, man. I do not. Anyway, those are my little snobby asides. So, I was just like sitting here and just like being boggled by the audacity of men. I mean, it's like, what is wrong with you? Like this man is busy viewing people's stories on Instagram, and he doesn't feel like the least bit creepy. So these girls are young enough to be his children. He's 43, they are 20. That's 23-year difference. Okay, men just like, no, I don't see myself on that. I mean, I'm just like, we could hang. And I really think that someone should take them up on it, because there's this whole thing now where people are just like so sex positive, and I want one of those men to be pegged for real. I want it to happen, and then I want to be there when they come out, and I want to see the shock on their faces, and it would just like make my day. Just make my day, Be pegged by a 20-year-old in a house with like 20 roommates. The dream. That's my dream. That's my dream comeuppance. There was a whole thread like some old man did about it, about like how you think that you want to be out there, but you don't, because the dating scene has changed so much. It was hilarious. I wish I had it with me. I'd read it aloud. Anyway, so, man, the audacity, it's just like, whew. I mean, you guys are just like, there's no help. There's no help for you, because just like you have zero self-awareness, and it's deliberate, and it's intentional, because I see it. I like when I point things out to my son, I can see he'll think about it for 3 days, and then he'll be like, okay, I acknowledge that you are right about that thing that you said. He won't say it in words, he'll say it in actions. So first of all, the younger ones are trainable. Don't lose hope. They are trainable. I think it's just the whole culture of patriarchy which has caused all of us to play this game, and the women play it. I played it for years, but I played it because I knew the fragility of the male ego, and so I spent like my son's formative years really building up his confidence. And of course, once the testosterone checked in, it was like, oh, I am really special. Wow, I'm so special. So I spent like his teenage years being that Beyonce meme with, when she's just looking wide-eyed and boggled and like, what the fuck? But the good news is it is reversible. But you gotta get it when they're young. Otherwise, you get Adam Levine and Chris Rock, who really, really believe that they're God's gift to women. Anyway, so I don't really like going more than 20 minutes because I know you all have to get back to your lives. So I'll stop there. It was nice to talk to you again. I'll see you sooner than, I've been seeing you. Cheers, mates. Surprise! This is a bonus section for those who want a bit more. And I'm going to talk about just one thing, right? I'm sure everyone in the world was following the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp thing. Just full disclosure, I didn't watch a single clip of their court case. So this is just me giving my opinion of what I knew before the court case. I've seen people trying to make Amber Heard into this victim, and I've seen people trying to make Johnny Depp into this victim. And I just want us to be real for 1 second. Amber Heard married Johnny Depp for his money. Let's keep it 100. That's what she did. She married him for his money. Probably thought, Pirates of the Caribbean, etc., etc., etc. He's rolling in it. And then maybe when she married him, she said, he's not really rolling in it. Not as much as I thought. But it's not just the money. It's also the goodwill, the connections that he had. She was struggling. She was a struggling artist. He was established. And marrying him put her name out there. It did. Okay? So she benefited from that marriage. But probably because expectations did not match reality, their whole relationship became toxic. So they were both toxic, okay? I hear there was some pooping on the bed, some fantasy texts about murdering her. There was physical violence, psychological violence from both sides, right? So this is not Chris Brown beating Rihanna in his car, okay? You can't say, because Rihanna fought back, then it's the same as Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. It's not the same situation at all, okay? Both of these people, they meant to cause pain. They meant to cause pain on each other, including, and then they got divorced and they continue to want to cause pain on each other, okay? So, for those who are like, poor Amber Heard, poor Johnny Depp, ain't no victims here, man. Ain't no victims. These are both perpetrators. Okay, and you just need to stop. You need to stop putting celebrities on these pedestals, okay? They just be people and they just be doing stupid shit, okay? These are two children having a tantrum. They're throwing toys out of the crib. It's not one child who is torturing the other. They are torturing each other, throwing each other's toys out of the crib, okay? They need to be as far away from each other as possible. And nobody else needs to be in their business. For real, man. I know life is difficult right now and we're just all looking for distractions. Find another one. My God, no. Okay, I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to judge you. Okay. If you want to be all in their business, I guess that's your problem. But let's stop this. Oh, Amber Heard is a victim. Johnny Depp is a victim. People are all victims. Okay, they're villains. They're all villains. Huh? Let us embrace the villain era. I'm not saying don't support them. You can support them. But support them in their villain eras. Okay? Yeah, okay. That's it. Have a good one. Good night.